Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Saturday Dhamma Talk series. Today, Dhamma Talk is sponsored by two families. One family is Sanjeevani, Mrs. Sanjeevani Madhura Peruma, together with her husband and son Akit. And the other family who is sponsoring this Dharma Talk is Tamalka Mudannayaka, together with her mother, Mrs. Mudannayaka, and her sister who is visiting from Vancouver these days, and her children. And both families are sponsoring with special purposes in their mind, and we will discuss and those reasons for sponsoring in the end of the Dhamma talk. Now, let us begin the Dhamma talk by observing 5 precepts. Please recite Namo Tassa 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Adinādānā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Kāmesu micchācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapadaṃ samādhiyāmi, Surāmēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vēramaṇī sikkhapadaṃ samādhiyāmi, Samantā cakkavālesu atrā gacchanthu devata saddhammaṃ munirājassa sunantu saggamokkhaдаṃ dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā Dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā, Dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammā Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Samma ditthi ti avuso vucchati. Kittavatanu avuso Arya Savako Samma Ditti Hoti. Ujugata Assa Ditti Dhamme Avecchappasadena Samannagato Agato Imang Saddhammanti. Good evening, everyone. Today's Dhamma talk will be based on Samma Ditti Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya. This is the Sutta number 5. Samma Ditti Sutta. It's a long sutta and with great explanation of Samma Ditti. But in a short time, like 40-45 minutes, it is difficult to explain completely, but I'm planning to summarize it for you so you can get a good understanding of what Sammadhisthi is all about. Even the sutta here I just recited says the monks go to see Venerable Sariputta, who was regarded as the treasurer of Dhamma, treasurer of the Dhamma, Dhamma Bhandagarika. That means he has understood the Buddha's teaching so clearly and completely. So the junior monks would like to go to see him and ask those difficult questions and discuss the Dhamma with Venerable Sariputta. Even this sutta is not the Buddha's own teaching. Most of the suttas are Buddha's own teaching. But this explanation is by Venerable Sariputta. In some cases, Buddha has approved this type of teaching of his disciples. Sadhu Sadhu Sariputta is wonderful, wonderful Sariputta. If I explained it myself, I would explain it exactly the same as you did. That means he's praising the disciple for teaching it well and clearly. So if you want to read the sutta, you can always Google. It is very easy. S-A-M-M-A Samma D-I-T-T-H-I Ditti Sutta. S-U-T-T-A Sutta. Then you can read it in English in several translations. One translation may be complicated or difficult, or you can read the other the translation and you can get a good idea by doing so. Samma ditti ti auso vucchati kittavatanuko auso aryasavako samma ditti hoti. Venerable Sir, we have heard the word sammadhitti, sammadhitti, sammadhitti from so many people and so many times, just like we do in our country in Sri Lanka. We have heard the word sammadhitti so many times. But these venerable monks are asking Venerable Sariputta, please explain How can one be a person with sammaditthi, right view? Sammaditthi means right view, wholesome view. These are some words that we use for sammaditthi in English. So then we have to know what ditthi means. Ditthi means our way of understanding certain things. Ditthi means a view, we already know. View means if I am sitting in this angle, what do I see? And I see a camera, I see a computer, I see a microphone, I see a little clock. But if someone see from another angle, they may not see the same thing that I see. For example, if I look further, I see a nice picture of the Buddha on the other side of the wall, and I see the switches, the light switch, and I see a little gadget bag that we use to carry all these microphones and other things. But if somebody look at from that angle, they only see me and some little Buddha images and so many flowers that I don't see. I don't see the flowers. Because from this angle, I can see the flowers in front of the Buddha image. So, where you are standing, you see certain things. And you think that is what is there. And if I say there is a picture of the Buddha on the wall, the person is sitting in that side cannot see that picture of the wall in that side. So if I say there's a Buddha, the other person would say, no, that is not true. I don't think there's a picture of the Buddha. There are some Buddha images, but no, not a picture. So ditthi is always from your angle. How do you have certain angles and other person has a different angle? Different things to see? That is based on their background. My background is this in the back. His background is in the other side. Based on the background, when you see certain things, they see it differently. When you look at life, it's also exactly like that. I was paying attention to a discussion on YouTube recently, and this media person was talking to some very important person, celebrity in Sri Lanka, son of one of the best actor. That actor is dead and gone, but the son is becoming an actor. Question the person who interview asked this person was, do you believe in karma? Do you believe in rebirth or re-existence? Immediately this person answered, no, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in rebirth. Do you think this person is a bad person? No. This person is not a bad person. By growing up in a country like Sri Lanka, they have a very good knowledge of basic right and wrong, good and bad. And he may be thinking that he's a good Buddhist, because in his wrist I saw strings that is blessed by monks, like Piritnula. He was having the Piritnula in his wrist, and then somebody who listened to him say, "Wow, he's a crazy man. Why did he say he don't believe in karma, especially in Sri Lanka? Why doesn't he believe in rebirth? He's a ignorant person." No, he's not an ignorant person. He's not a bad person. But his background didn't provide him the answer to the other person's question. He said, "I don't know karma. I don't believe in karma." Because he is trained in Western culture, and you believe in certain things based on what you know regarding medicine-like things. So when we grow up in Western culture, we know that if you have a heart attack or heart problems, we just think that this person may have clogged arteries, which the doctors would say. But this person is a common person. But he's saying, this common person say that his arteries may be blocked by cholesterol or whatever they want to tell about. So the blood flow is not very good that is going to the heart. So it could create heart pains. That is a background. That is his background. His background, it's a science background, or background with a lot of general knowledge from the medicine or medical point of view. He's looking at the medical point of view. He's believing it. And he also mentioned, I believe that we use a lot of herbs in our traditional medicine. I believe those herbs have some medical effect, positive medical effect on the body. He said that. But if he was exposed to the knowledge of karma and knowledge of rebirth properly by their parents, by the environment he grew up, his school and his friends, and our point of view about certain things regarding politics, regarding religion, regarding social behavior is based on what you have learned in the past. So this person is not a bad person because he just didn't have the exposure, enough exposure to the knowledge that other people have about karma and rebirth. So that is understandable. So that is why Buddha always emphasize education. Bahusutta. Bahusutta means learned things extensively. The person who is learned is called Bahusutta. If this person that I was watching in that interview, that famous celebrity, if he had the exposure to Dhamma, his point of view could have been much more different. And immediately after that interview, there was another main celebrity who came to the same interviewer, and this same question was asked. This person said, "Of course, I believe in karma. I believe in rebirth." He just said that like that. No hesitation, just answer the question. Yes, I believe in karma. I believe in. That does not mean he is a better person or much. He had heard or learned more things than the other person who answered, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in rebirth. So the belief is not highly praised in Buddhism. Buddha does not think that belief is a very good way to know certain things. But why this person believe that if this person has heart attack, heart problems, his arteries might be clogged. He may need surgery to clean the arteries, putting a stent or something, or maybe an open heart surgery. That is because he was exposed to knowledge that was available in the medical field. Therefore, he immediately would say, yes, he need cleaning his arteries. Now, who is saying, has this person seen the clogged arteries? Most probably not. Has he seen every time when somebody had heart problems, it was due to clogged arteries? Probably he has never seen. But he has the tendency to believe the expert in the medical field. So when you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over, they tend to believe what they heard. Mainly because experts in the medical field are saying this. But most Buddhists believe in karma and believe in rebirth, especially in a country like Sri Lanka and Thailand and Burma and those countries. Because Dhamma has been taught for thousands of years, and he had paid attention to Dhamma. And most importantly, this Dhamma is taught by experts in the field of life. Experts. The great people like the Buddha are experts in the field of human existence or life. Or life, when you say life, that includes humans and non-humans and devas and brahmas and all these people. If the deva make a mistake and do something harmful, he will have the negative effects. How do I say that? Because I tend to believe in the experts, and I have studied the Buddha to be one of the greatest experts ever lived in the history regarding human conditions. So when I believe something, when I believe in karma, what I do is every situation that happens around me and about me, I pay attention to. Did this happen because of his karma? Because of my karma? Now, one of the reasons for this is, for example, when it comes to karma, karma is not taught properly in the Buddhist culture. What the Buddha had seen is not taught properly. What the Buddha has taught is not understood correctly. For example, karma or karma is supposed to be some action that you do, some action that someone do. But Buddha didn't say that. Buddha said, use the word karma, it's action. But most importantly, Buddha has very clearly informed that if anything that you were exposed to, you see, or you hear, or you say, or you said, or you do, or you did, is done with emotions like anger and greed and ignorance, that action that you see or that you did or that you heard or that you saw, that you said, become part of your memory bank. It goes to your memory bank. Buddha said there's a memory bank called sankhara. Every person, every being has a sankhara. Our system has the ability to record anything that you see, that you say, that you did. That is karma. That becomes karma because it was recorded in your memory bank. So once it is recorded in the memory bank, it was recorded maybe yesterday. It must have been recorded in 10, 15 years ago. Maybe that record was taken place one of your past lives. No matter what time it was, if what you see, what you say, what you do, what you are exposed to is taken into your system with certain negative emotions, certain negative emotions, that become part of your bad memory bank, bad side of your memory bank. Another emotion, which are negative, positive emotions, if you see something, said something, did something, if you are exposed to something while you are in a good mood, that goes to your memory, and it will be returned in positive side of your memory. But we know that everything that we do in our lives, if you look closely, everything that we say in our lives, every word that I use to say what I want to say, every tool that I use to get certain things done, all this based on my past memories, past experiences. My past experiences control every action of my life. Now, psychologists would see that, but even people like us who are not psychologists, if we pay attention, we can see what I do, what I say, my point of view is always based on my memory, what is in my memory. So if you see this, if you understand this, nobody would say, I don't believe in karma. Because you see it daily basis. Every moment, everything, if you get angry for something, that is based on your past memories. You saw the action, your friend saw the action, your friend didn't get angry, but you didn't get angry because elements to make you angry at that moment was in your system. It was not in other person's system, means memory. So you can see that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see what I did, what I do is based on what I have in memory. I will tell you another example. Now, these days in California, there are so many wildfires, and some wildfires start in the middle of the forest and keep coming to the places where the people live, and all these different houses in the area get totally burned down to ashes, including their vehicles and including their property, and everything become ashes. You have seen it, I have seen it, right? In Berkeley, several years ago, we had a big wildfire fire. Thousands of homes were burned down, and we took an aerial picture. The acres and acres of burned homes, piles and piles of ashes in different places. I see. We have seen it. Huh? And now we talk to these people whose homes were burned down. One person is so sad and so angry and so upset and crying and weeping and cursing and all that things. And we talk to the neighbor of that same person who's angry. His house is also, her house is also burned down, but he's not unhappy. His reaction to burning his own house is not same as the other person. Why? Because the other person's memories are different from this person who is angry about losing his house to the fire. Now that is the karma. Karma is not what happened to your house. Karma is how you take it, how you handle your loss. One person is so upset and sad, other person is thinking, actually, I'm glad now I have a good insurance, so I'll get the money from the insurance and I will build my house exactly the way I wanted. With a good plan, with a good architect, I built the house exactly the way I wanted. I'm so glad my house is burned down for the wildfire. See the two different way of looking at things. That is the ditti. Ditti means his way of looking at what happened, and the other person's way of looking at what happened to him or her. So you can see the karma is based on what you have learned, in the past. What is learned means what is in your memory, what you heard from your parents, what you heard from your teachers, what you learn from religion, your church or temple that you go to, all these things basically form your view, ditti. That ditti is the one that make you happy or unhappy person. If it is a wholesome way of looking at what happened, it doesn't make you unhappy. It doesn't bring you dukkha. If you look at something from unwholesome view, then you become depressed and unhappy. If you go to Sri Lanka and talk to our own family members, one family member is complaining to the government for not doing a good job. Because of the government, we are suffering. And this is a hell. The other group of people are saying, never say anything bad about government. He look at the people who behave carelessly in the country, even when the government is trying so hard to control their behavior, they completely ignore the effort of the government to keep the people distance, making them wear a mask and making them not having parties. Government is doing it, but people didn't do it. So the other person is saying, no, government has tried to tell us all the health procedures that we follow, so we don't have to complain the government. Only our people, our people in this country is so careless. Which used to be careless, and now we are suffering with the pandemic. So two different ways of looking at it. You cannot say one person is right, one person is wrong. No, you cannot say that. One person was exposed to look at certain things from a certain angle. The other person was trained to look at from a different angle. If you learn to complain about the government for last 15, 20, 30, 40 years, that is his habit. Habit is also memory, karma. Any habit is karma. Any exposure, experience is a karma. Anything that you learned is karma. And I can see that two people have two different attitudes. One person is angry at the government. One person was sad at his own people for not behaving correctly. So this is none of them were right or none of them were wrong. It's all based on their point of view. Their point of view is definitely designed by what he or she has learned in the past. So if we have a lot of good things, now you can see that here in the West, if a person, young kid or someone older person was behaving badly, doing criminal activities, engaged in criminal activities, the doctors would say his childhood, what he learned from the childhood was harsh experiences. As a result, now he is behaving like this. He's acting like a criminal. He is using guns and trying to kill people and getting angry at every situation because he had a bad childhood. That's what the Western psychologists generally would say. So that means they believe in karma. So when I heard that famous celebrity in Sri Lanka saying, I don't believe in karma, that only means he has never understood how karma works. What is karma and how it works? It works every day, every moment, whatever you do, whatever you feel, all based on past experiences, means past karma. If you look at it closely, if you learn what is karma, he can see it because he was a smart person. No? He was a smart person. He was not ignorant. He was never exposed to what karma means and how it works in daily life in every person. Now, there is a famous doctor in America, and he started using hypnotism on his patients to really understand why these chronic pains are there even without any medical reasons. After all the tests, there's no reason for this person to have headache, this person to have this chest pain, this person has to have back pain. Then he wanted to see why. He hypnotized and he found out that a lot of his patients have been born in the past lives, and they have certain negative experience related to this particular illness at this time. It could be a certain negative behavior, unhealthy behavior, unhealthy physical pain. All these are caused by something happened in the past lives, one of the past lives. And after he examined some of these patients through hypnotism, which is accepted in this culture, he found that this person is not born only one time or two times, but he or she, his patients, had been born in many, many, many past lives. And you know that in America, nobody believes in past lives, generally. But after now, it's slightly changing because Eastern religions and Eastern philosophies are coming in, and so many reasons to believe that rebirth exists. It is a real thing. And when only the people who pay attention to those examples, they would say, yes, there's a possibility that I was being born in the past lives. And then this doctor is saying, this person, if I hypnotized him few lives ago, he doesn't know, that patient doesn't know that he's going to be born, but I know he was born again and again and again. So there are so many evidence for rebirth. For example, Professor Ian Stevenson from Maryland University, he was a parapsychology researcher, and he wanted to see if this thing is real. We all talk about birth, rebirth, and is this real? So every time when somebody speak about rebirth, his or her past lives, this Professor Ian Stevenson go to Sri Lanka, go to Burma, go to India, and examine these cases. What they say, I was born as a girl in the past life, now I am a boy. My name was this, my father's name was this, the day I died was this, and the way I died was this. I had a car accident. Oh, I was being shot by someone, terrorist. And then Dr. Ian Stevenson go and examine, research on this person's past life that he was talking about. Was there actually a person by this name? Was there actually certain situations that made this person die, accident or gunshot or something? And then he write all the records. And he wrote a famous book called 20 Cases of Reincarnation. But he was a very strong believer that the possibility of free birth is there. He didn't say everyone is going to reborn, because his observation is about a limited number of people, but he didn't say that every person who dies is going to be reborn. But he said possibility for someone to die and reborn again is there. That is Dr. Ian Stevenson. But what about this doctor who was the chief psychiatrist, medical doctor in Mount Sinai in Florida? After doing his research with his patient who had chronic pains, chronic illnesses, he wrote, I was hardcore scientist, Yale Medical School graduate, one of the toppest scientific beliefs, school and department, Yale Medical School. Yale is an Ivy League school, you know, right? And he said, now I am a firm believer that almost everyone who dies going to be reborn again. But they don't know this doctor, his name is Dr. Brian Weiss. He doesn't know that the person who died could be an animal, because in his among his patients, they only can speak when they are humans in the past lives. If they were animals or something else, they don't know how to talk, and they don't remember, and they don't say anything about it. So therefore, these doctors, these scientists don't know anyone who can die can be reborn as a hungry ghost. But did the Buddha know? Of course he knew. Did the Buddha know that this person who died last night in the city of Savatnura, was born as a snake in the same property? He would see it. Why? His tools that he used was much sharper, much more advanced tools than the tools of the scientist. What are the tools? Dibba Socha, Dibba Chakku, Parachitta Vijanan, all these psychic tools, very powerful when it comes to the Buddha. It's not just wishy-washy, cheap tools. Some high school in the countryside has a telescope or microscope that is very cheap and not too advanced. But when you go to a good university, that university has much better microscopes and telescopes, and they can learn many things that high school telescope and microscopes cannot show you. In the Buddha's case, Buddha's time, there were many psychics who were developed, even the Buddha's own disciples. who had developed psychic skills, Dibba Sota, Dibba Jnana, Dibba Chakku and all this. And they could see so much detail of the people's karma is affecting their behavior, why this person was born in this family, what is the reason, what are the causes and conditions. Because person who died and reborn in heaven has a different causes and conditions. The same person, same family member who died and became a hungry ghost in the same house, his own house, has a different causes and conditions. Do scientists believe causes and conditions? If one little cause is changed, different, the effect will be changed. I'm looking at this camera right in front of me, and if this lens is prepared by top company who has studied the lenses, powerful lenses, very deeply, that make a big difference in the pictures, quality of the pictures. We believe in it because we are living in the world of science. And in our culture, we live in the world of Dhamma. Unfortunately, Dhamma is losing, and other different thinking patterns are coming into our country from different angles, and their language and their way of saying things are totally different from the Buddhist people's language and Buddhist people's thinking in Sri Lanka, because they were exposed to different things. The new Western thinking is rapidly flowing into our Buddhist culture, and people in our country is losing their wholesome view, right view, correct view, view that is beneficial to themselves, is losing. So Samma Ditti means wholesome view is disappearing. Miccha Ditti, unwholesome view, is rapidly growing. That's the way of life in the world, because we always get affected by what is happening around us, what is going on in the other part of the world, and therefore we lose our wholesome thinking. Wholesome means, in this case, I translate Samma as wholesome, then right view, I translate as a wholesome view. That means a healthy way of looking at it, an unhealthy way of looking at it. When you know that I might have done some bad karma, I might have a lot of bad memories in my background, as a result, I am experiencing this pain and suffering, but I have to learn not to do the same mistakes that I did in the past, in the future, because I don't want to experience the same type of pains. If my karma is, my actions are changed, my attitudes are changed, my way of looking at things are changed, I can have a better life in the future. Next year, few years from now, maybe in the next life, we don't know. So it's possible. So Samma Ditti is a result of what you are exposed to. Miccha Ditti is a result of what you are exposed to. What is the Buddhist solution? Learn Dhamma. If people in very far away country where the Western knowledge is, modern knowledge is not available in the tribal area. If the people don't know science, they believe they died because the god is mad at them, or there's a demon in the village recently, and that demon make us sick. They believe that. But the doctors from the West go there and they say the virus is going around, and therefore this virus is affecting these people and make them sick and make them die and all that. But those tribal people who never exposed to science laugh at the doctors. That's the way it is. So, Samma Ditti, Samma Miccha Ditti is a result of what you were exposed to. What is the Buddhist solution? Learn Dhamma. What is the Buddhist solution? What is the Buddhist solution to that tribal people where they believe that they get sick because of the demon is mad at them, the village demon? There was no demon in the village, but they believe it. So we go say, you learn science. In few generations, you will be able to think clearly and see what exactly causes this frustration and suffering and fears and illnesses. So our time is passing by, but I have a lot of things to say about Samma Ditti or Miccha Ditti, but no time. It is very important for you to know Samma Ditti is something to be practiced, something to be cultivated, something to be expanded. Samma Ditti. Bhavita, Bhavitaya. Bhavita means put into, expand, put into, not practice, understand it, cultivate it. So that is how you cultivate Samma Ditti. In the end, what do you see? When you practice Samma Ditti, when you expand your Samma Ditti by listening to the Dhamma, by listening to the Dhamma and testing the Dharma, not just by listening to it, by paying attention to it and closely examine it and see for yourself if that is true or not. In Buddhism, we don't say, just believe me. See for yourself. Look at it and see for yourself. Look at it closely and see for yourself. Look at it very closely and see for yourself, and then you see what is factual, what is non-factual. That means what is true, what is not true. So anyway, Samma Ditti and Miccha Ditti, I was talking mainly about because I saw that famous celebrity is saying, I don't believe in karma, I don't believe in rebirth. Unfortunately, he was not exposed to correct knowledge. That is Dhamma. So what I'm telling you is that all our people, Buddhist people, constantly sponsor Dhamma talk, sponsor Dhamma publication, and share the knowledge with others. And that is a great positive activity. Today, Sanjeevani, together with Pubudu, who is working in Hawaii with his child, he's here and sponsoring this Dhamma talk because today is Sanjeevani's mother's birthday. Her name is Malati Dayananda. She had been here to this temple and very sincere Buddhist and still practicing, although she is not in perfect health. When you are old, you lose your health, and she is not in perfect health. And we want to wish her good health and good mental strength. That is the reason that Sanjeevani and Pubudu wanted to sponsor this Dhamma talk to generate positive energy for themselves and share that positive energy to bring good health and strength to Mrs. Malati Dayananda, whose birthday is today. And she also prepared the dana for the lunch for monks, and she also generated by a lot of merit by doing so, and by the power of all her merit, including sponsoring this Dhamma talk, may her mother be healthy and strong and be able to live without too much pain that arises from old age. That's what our wish for this. And also, we want to transfer merit to, they want to transfer merit to Sanjeevani's father, Mr. R.K. Dayananda, who passed away a while ago. We want to wish him a happy life wherever he may be born. At this time, may he be able to expose to more Dharma and clear up his right view. And finally, may he attain ultimate peace, which is Nibbana. May he attain Nibbana. Then the other sponsor for this, as I mentioned earlier, Mrs. Tamalka Mudannayaka, together with her sister, who is visiting here now from Vancouver, and her mother, Mrs. Gunatilaka, mainly to transfer merit to Mrs. Gunatilaka's, that means her grandmother's, Tamalka's grandmother, who passed, Mrs. Premavati Vikrama Tunga, mother's side grandmother, who passed away a while ago. We believe in rebirth, and we know that she may be born some place, but we want her to have a very comfortable life and comfortable birth. And that is why they wanted to transfer merit to Mrs. Premavati Vikramatunga, that is the grandmother of Tamalka and her sister. And then they want to transfer merit to his father's side grandmother, Mrs. Karuna Tilaka, who passed away also a while ago, grandmother of Tamalka, and that means Tamalka's mother's mother. And we also want to wish her wonderful life and perfect peace of mind, which is Nibbana. And now then, around this time, his cousin, several years ago, when we had a lot of problems with terrorists in Sri Lanka, and we had to control them to bring peace to the country. The Sri Lankan government had to control, and they had to use the army and air force and that all those three forces, navy and all that. And Tamalka's cousin, father's son or mother's son, and was a captain in Sri Lankan army, and he was shot while he was in the plane in Sri Lanka, plane or helicopter, whatever that thing is, and he was shot and he was dead. That is Captain Dimuthu Mudannayaka, very young, 26 years old. That is very young to die, but he died for bringing peace to many people and stop terrorism in the country, which is a very good purpose. And even the monks like us, we say terrorism should be eliminated. And therefore, we like to really appreciate the people who devoted their lives, devoted their health, devoted their physical body just to bring peace to millions of people in the country including the common people in the terrorist area. Terrorist area had a lot of nice, good people, children. They lost their education, but this is about Dimatu Mudanaka, who was only 26 years old, and we wish him safe life wherever he is born in this life, and may he not go through samsara too long, and finally may he attain ultimate peace, which is Nibbana. Today's Dhamma talk is taken a little bit longer, but I had no time to completely explain what is in the sutta. I only explain a little bit about what is wholesome way of looking at things, how it is created in us, and I hope you had understanding. But when you hear the Dhamma, please think about it and see for yourself by looking at your own life. Your field of experimentation, your lab is your own body and your own mind. So you go to your own lab, which is your own body and mind, and examine if what the Buddha was correct, or is there any merit. So this is the end of the Dhamma talk, and may you all be happy and well, and wish you all good health. And also, I want to remind you that may all your family members who died in the past also be happy and well, and may they have wonderful lives wherever they are now. And my cousin died last night from COVID in Sri Lanka. She was living here in Canada, Vancouver, for a long time, and with her age, and she knew that the best place for her is to live in Sri Lanka, and she went to live in Sri Lanka, and yesterday he passed away. Tomorrow I'm going to hold a Pasakula ceremony for her via Zoom. And all 4 of her children are in Vancouver, and 1 daughter is in Sri Lanka. And my cousins who died, her husband is the one who took me to my teacher with my mother to offer to the sasana when I was a young boy, who was 9 years old. And all these children here are so close to me, and so I want to wish all of those people who die in Sri Lanka, not only my cousin who died in Sri Lanka yesterday, but all the people who died due to corona, COVID-19 virus, be born in happy places, and may they never exposed to any of the negative viruses in the future lives. And also, may all those people who are experiencing bad health in Sri Lanka and many other places due to this vicious virus that is going on around every country, including United States that we live, and we know that a lot of people are losing their lives here, and a lot of hospitals are getting filled up, not only in Sri Lanka, not only in Philippines or Indonesia, but all of them may be healthy and happy and joyful. And I took a little bit longer for the Dhamma talk, but I think that you will pay attention to what you learned today. May you all be healthy and happy. Akasatta Jabummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Loka Sasanang. Akasatta Jabummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Desanang. Akasatta Jabummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Tvang Sada. May you all be happy and well. May you all finally attain ultimate peace, which is Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.